If you're a woman who's in her early 30s and experiencing some sort of pain, brain fog, fatigue, hair loss, hair thinning, this video is for you. I'm going to be breaking down this blood work of my client who's just 31 years of age. She's on my 1 month container. If you do not know about my 1 month containers, I'll put it in the description box below. Anyone comes to me with these set of symptoms, the first line of action is always get a blood work done, because that gives you a very tangible data that we can work on, and after 2 or 3 months of working together, we can redo the blood work and see how the protocol and how the systems have helped the client. She came to me with obviously hair thinning, hair loss. This was the trigger that got her to come to me. But after having my discovery call, there were other symptoms which were a red flag. It is not just a hair or a hormone problem for a 31-year-old girl. For her, it was more of a nervous system and metabolic conversation that I needed to have with her once I had her blood work in place. HbA1c. She came to me with this value at 5.8. Now, if you go to a conventional doctor, he will actually mark you in a category of early onset prediabetes. For me, she is in the later stage of prediabetes, which means if she continued to live her life the way she's living right now, she would be diabetic in the next few months. HbA1c is literally your blood's report card of how it is metabolizing glucose. Every time you eat food, that food needs to enter your cells so that you get energy, right? Now, whenever this food that you're eating is breaking down into simple sugars, if it's not able to enter these cells because of compromised insulin or because the body has been bombarded with excess of sugar, the cells are going to stop these sugars from entering. So when these cells are not being fueled, you feel tired, lethargic. But what this is indicating is that your cells have become insulin resistant, and that's what happens in diabetes. This HbA1c is a metabolic indicator. The second indicator for me was her cortisol. She woke up with her cortisol at 20. This is again a blood cortisol level. I will not give this so much importance, but if you ever get a blood work done, get a salivary cortisol done. AM and PM will give you a perfect indication of where you are at with your stress levels. I usually don't ask people to get cortisol levels down because everyone's cortisol is through the roof. But for me, her cortisol at 20 indicates why she has autoimmune thyroiditis. Now, autoimmune thyroiditis is also known as Hashimoto's, which is indicative of increased antibodies in the bloodstream. It's not a thyroid problem, to be honest, because if I look at her TSH, free T3, free T4, they all look okay-ish. And that's why whenever you're getting a blood work done, always ask your endocrinologist to prescribe a full thyroid panel, because antibodies gives us a clear, it's like a crystal clear indication of what exactly is happening in the body. It is a autoimmune condition where your body is creating antibodies against its own damn gland. And this is happening clearly because her cortisol has created systemic inflammation in the body. Now thyroid is your gland which is responsible to metabolize your food, your emotions, but it is also responsible to keep the hair follicle in its most healthy, optimum anagen phase of hair growth intact. So these three parameters in itself tell me a much deeper chaos that she is experiencing. And to top it all, it's like the cherry on the cake. She has iron deficiency anemia. Her hemoglobin is at 10. Her ferritin, which is the storage form of iron, is way below 20, which means her body is literally running on no fuel, because if your absolute non-negotiable organs are not given enough nutrition, enough oxygen Forget about your hair follicles because this is non-essential. This is a metabolic, a nervous system problem, not a hair problem, or not even a thyroid problem for that matter. All these factors have made her homocysteine go up, which is an inflammatory marker. She has severe deficiency in vitamin B12 and vitamin D, which is not allowing her to make enough healthy hormones. So if you have understood, this client of mine needs not just a hair topical solution or a quick fix. This kind of blood work would need a very structured, strategic, and a very systematic protocol, which is very bio-individualized to her. Nervous system reset, a metabolic detox, and after all these two things are established as a foundation, we can then add on systems, structures, protocol, supplements. You cannot feed or you cannot override a nervous system and a body that's breaking down with these current parameters. You need to first seal these breaks and then add a structure to it so that whatever structure you're adding does not leak through because of the broken system. If you could relate to any of these parameters, I hope that you get a clear perspective and understanding of your hair thinning, your hair loss issues can never in caps lock be solved with a supplement or a hair serum or a finasteride or a minoxidil also, even though they are FDA approved. If the root cause, this is the foundation, if this is not addressed, whatever you put on top is just putting a band-aid on a bleeding wound. Please understand, I get so many messages through the day. Will your oil help me grow my hair out? How many bottles do I need to use before I can see hair growth? Honestly, it's not feasible for me to reply to all of you, but I hope this video gives you a perspective that hair growth, healthy hair, will only grow from a very healthy, stable body. Please share it with someone who's struggling to grow hair, and always test, don't guess. And if you need help, you can always reach out to a professional. I'm opening up 5 more spots for my 1-month container for the month of May. Reach out and we can help you grow out your most amazing hair together. But before that, we give you a very regulated nervous system and a very, very healthy metabolism, because that is the key and the main driving factor for your hair follicle health.